Assalamu alaikum. We're continuing on the topic of A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, the accursed Satan. You know, before we read Quran, we always have to say that phrase, A'udhu billahi. A'udhu, it means I seek refuge in Allah from Satan. And it's because when we're trying to read Quran, Satan is very angry and he'll try to distract us. And it is true. You ask anyone who reads Quran regularly or memorizes Quran, every time you open the Quran, it's like, oh, did I turn off the stove? Oh, wait, my mom's supposed to be calling me right now. Oh, no, I have to put the laundry in. I guess, should I wait and just put the laundry in and then come back? Oh, I hear the children crying. This is a given. And this is how you know his traps and how he does it. So the previous video was about the conversation that he actually tries to talk to Allah in defiance. Well, Allah always is very clear in the Quran to make a distinction between the good people and the bad people, the believers, the disbelievers, and sometimes the middle of the roaders who are trying their best to be good. And that counts for a lot. So you'll notice the theme here, which is why I chose Surat Zumar in this particular case, so that we could more or less understand better. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن أظلم ممن كذب على الله وكذب بالصدق إذ جاءه أليس في جهنم مثوى للكافرين. Allah says, who is more in the wrong, oppressing themselves and others, than those who disbelieve of Allah, وَكَذَّبَ بِصِدْقٍ, and they call the people who give them the truth liars when they come to them. Isn't it so that the hellfire would be a perfect place for these people to be? وَالَّذِي جَاءَ بِصِدْقٍ وَصَدَّقَ بِهِ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمَ الْمُتَّقُونَ. Those people who come in sidq, meaning the truth, وَصَدَّقَ بِهِ, they believe in it themselves, أُولَٰئِكَ هُمَ الْمُتَّقُونَ, these are the pious people. لَهُمْ مَا يَشَاءُونَ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ, they will get what they want from Allah. ذَلِكَ جَزَاءُ الْمُحْسِنِينَ, and this is the recompense for the good people. لِيُكَفِّرَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ أَسْوَاءَ الَّذِي عَمِلُوا وَيَجْزِيَهُمْ أَجْرَهُمْ بِأَحْسَنَ الَّذِي كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. Allah will forgive them their worst sins that they did and reward them with a reward that is the best that they could have according to what they did. أَلَيْسَ اللَّهُ بِكَافٍ عَبْدَهُ وَيُخَوِّفُونَكَ بِالَّذِينَ مِن دُونِهِ. Oh, I love this verse. I'm going to stop here in the middle of the verse. أَلَيْسَ اللَّهُ بِكَافٍ عَبْدَهُ وَيُخَوِّفُونَكَ بِالَّذِينَ مِن دُونِهِ. Allah says, isn't Allah enough for his servants? And yet, they try to make you afraid of min duni, other things or people. وَمَنْ يُضْلِلِ اللَّهُ فَمَا لَهُ مِنْ هَادٍ, and whomever is astray, they will not have a guide. وَمَنْ يَهْدِ اللَّهُ فَمَا لَهُ مِنْ مُضِلٍّ أَلَيْسَ اللَّهُ بِعَزِيزٍ ذِي انْتِقَامٍ. This is also so heartwarming, so beautiful. Allah says, whoever he guides, there is no one to misguide him. Alaysa Allahu bi'azizin the intiqam. Isn't Allah the most? Intiqam is revenge. Dhul intiqam means he is the best avenger. وَلَئِنْ سَأَلْتُهُمْ مَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ لَيَقُولُنَّ اللَّهُ When you ask them who created the earth and skies, they will say, Allah. قُلْ أَفَرَأَيْتُمْ مَا تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ. Well, then don't you see those that you call upon other than Allah? إِنْ أَرَادَنِي اللَّهُ بِضُرٍّ هَلْ هُنَّ كَاشِفَاتُ ضُرِّي. If Allah wants harm for me, are those others going to prevent the harm? أَوْ أَرَادَنِي بِرَحْمَةٍ هَلْ هُنَّ مُمْسِكَاتُ رَحْمَتِهِ. Or, if Allah wishes mercy, are they, hunna here, the pronoun is the plural feminine. It's the plural feminine, not because it's talking about women. You have to be careful with Arabic grammar. It's the plural feminine because the words are referred to as awthan, asnam. It's, all right, asnam are statues and pictures and things that people worship and they hang up, or they'll hang it on the dashboard, or they'll wear a medal or whatever. These are asnam. They're like produced with the hands to be idols. And then the other one, which is more of a broader perspective, awthan, it's the plural of wathan. These can be anything other than what it should be, which is Allah alone. So these have feminine plurals. So that's why the word hunna is used here. I'm just using this in case any new Muslims might be confused when, inshallah, they're going to go pick up the Quran and they're going to go over the lesson and they're going to read it and they're going to say, oh, why is it hunna? Ah. Well, it's hunna because of what I just described to you. This is a very long verse. 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 4.5 lines. So let's start again. وَلَئِنْ أَسْأَلْتَهُمْ مَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ لَيَقُولُنَّ اللَّهُ قُلْ أَفَرَأَيْتُمْ مَا تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ إِنْ أَرَادَنِي اللَّهُ بِضُرٍّ هَلْ هُنَّ كَاشِفَاتُ ضُرِّهِ أَوْ أَرَادَنِي بِرَحْمَةٍ هَلْ هُنَّ مُمْسِكَاتُ رَحْمَتِهِ. And I'll go over it briefly. If any of these so-called powers wanted to help you, they can't. And if they wanted to harm you, they can't. Now we still have the rest of the ayah. قُلْ حَسْبِيَ اللَّهُ وَعَلَيْهِ تَوَكَّلُوا الْمُتَوَكِّلُونَ. Say, Allah is enough, and on Him will the believers rely, and these believers are called mutawakkilun, the ones who tawakkal. Tawakkal means to depend on Allah alone, no one else. قُلْ يَا قَوْمِ أَعْمَلُوا عَلَى مَكَانَتِكُمْ إِنِّي آمِلٌ فَسَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ. Say, oh my kaum, it means my people, right now my American fellow citizens. Amalu ala makanatikum. Do what you will where you are. Ala makanatikum, where you are situated right now. I'm in Florida. Inni amilun fasawfa ta'alamun. Allah says, I am doing, and you will soon know. You will soon know. Amalu. Do it. Go ahead. Do whatever it is you think is going to be helpful. And do whatever it is you want to do. You see, Quran always tells you there's no force here. We're going to clarify what's right. And then you go right ahead and do whatever it is that you deem best for you. Unfortunately, because there's not enough education, the Quran is not well known enough in America, people don't even know what's good for them. But I'm going to be telling you more and more. من يأتيه عذاب يخزيه ويحل عليه عذاب مقيم. The one who receives the punishment. يخزيه. The word khizi. It's a really, in Arabic, it sounds, I shouldn't say bad, it's a word of Allah, but the word khizi, it means shame, humiliation, hard times are headed for you. وَيَحِلُّ عَلَيْهِ عَذَابٌ مُقِيمٌ. And coming will be a very painful torture coming up for them. إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابَ لِلنَّاسِ بِالْحَقِّ فَمَنِ اهْتَدَى فَلِنَفْسِهِ وَمَنْ ضَلَّ فَإِنَّمَا يَدِلُّ عَلَيْهَا وَمَا أَنْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ بِوَكِيلٍ. Here Allah is saying, Allah has sent down this book for people, linas, doesn't say only for Muslims, in truth. And whoever is guided for his own self. And whoever is misguided, same. Yudillu alayha, his own self. وَمَا أَنْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ بِوَكِيلٍ. And you have no power over them. You're not responsible for them. Allahu yatawaffal anfusa hina mautiha. Allah causes death. Yatawaffa, this verb means it's your time has come, you have fulfilled what you came here to do. Hina mautiha, at the time of death. Wa'alati lam tamut fi manamiha, and those who have not died in their sleep. فَيُمْسِكُ الَّتِي قَضَى عَلَيْهَا الْمَوْتِ وَيُرْسِلُ الْأُخْرَى إِلَى أَجَلٍ مُّسَمًّى إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. You know, it says here that Allah will take your souls at death, and if He doesn't, He'll send them back. And this reference, I recall when I first heard it, when I was a new Muslim, I thought, this is creepy, because they used to say that your sleep is a small death. And I never really understood it until, well, the more you learn with Islam, the more you understand everything. What does it mean, a small death? You're unconscious, actually. You're not moving, you're not talking, you're not eating, you're not using the bathroom, you're not arguing, you're not laughing, you're literally just lying there. Many have said that those who die in their sleep have the best death, the easiest death. You can imagine it would be, right? You know, my grandma, my Nana, on my mom's side, she used to stay over our house sometimes, and she died in her sleep in my bed with me next to her. I was 9, and I remember waking up, and Nana was still sleeping, and I didn't think much of it because she wasn't old. She was like 55. And I recall just not wanting to wake her up, and I went downstairs, tiptoed downstairs to get some food, breakfast, whatever. And I was eating my cereal. I don't know. I remember hearing my mom screaming because my mom went in my room and saw her mom in my bed. But what a better place to go, in your granddaughter's bed, without pain, without suffering of any kind. And I really loved my Nana. She was such a nice, gentle, soft. You know, my mom's mom was very much different than my dad's mom. My dad's mom was very stern, extremely stern, because she was super religious Catholic, and she had 13 children. And my Nana, well, she only had one daughter, my mom, and she only had me for a long time because my mom couldn't get pregnant for like 7 years. So I was a really big deal in her life because her only daughter couldn't get pregnant for 7 years, and then she had me. So when I think about that now, and I hadn't thought about it for a long time until I'm explaining to you about the correlation between sleep and death. Anyway, I'm rambling. No, Quran brings things out of you. It makes you more aware of everything. Your own life, the lives of people around you, the circumstances we're in right now in the world. Seemingly Satan has a hold, but he doesn't have a hold of anything. He's a liar. He's a deceiver. So you keep that in your mind, that he has no power whatsoever, unless you follow him. And then you deserve it because you have done it through your own volition. And one of the things I'm warning you against is paying interest. because we have a hadith wherein Prophet Muhammad said to us that in so many ways that this is forbidden. There's also a verse in the Quran. Yes, I think I might start my next lesson about riba because it's so bad, it's so haram, it's so hurtful, destructive, it's satanic. Yes. So I'll be up and coming with the next lesson in my series. The first one I said all intoxicants is satanic. So this one coming up will be usury, interest, riba is also satanic. And I'll just give you a little hint. Allah says in a verse in the Quran that those who consume riba, meaning paying it or taking it, will not rise other than they are touched by Satan. So I believe, because of my knowledge of Quran, that all of this mental illness, quote unquote, it's directly connected to all the haram stuff, like khamar, which means all intoxicants, riba, which means interest, and do I even have to go there with the zina, which means fornication, and pornography and everything else that's connected with that? We'll see you next time. Inshallah, you've benefited. Should I smile like I always do with this disturbing video? No, it's not disturbing. Prophet Muhammad smiled. They said he was never not smiling, but of course we weren't really there to look at him. Did you ever see Prophet Muhammad? No. And that's why we're not supposed to draw pictorial representations of Prophet Muhammad, because we don't really know what he looked like. And it doesn't matter. We have his words in the hadith. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.